friends, welcome back to the Craft Castle. My name is Ashley and I am back with a very quick and easy Siser Leonardo tutorial for you today. We are going to be able to turn any letter or number into a cuttable picture file. So if you have pictures that you want to turn into really cute decorations or t-shirts, I'm going to be able to show you how to take your pictures and put them into any letter or number. Are you ready to get started? Let's go. Okay, so the very first thing you want to do is open up a blank window in Siser Leonardo Program. The thing that I would like to note here is that the pictures that you plan on using for today's project, you need to have them already in your computer and edited the way that you want them to look. So if you have filters or if you want to lighten, darken, brighten, you're going to need to do all of that before you move forward. The Siser Leonardo program is not a photo editing program, so we're not going to be able to do much outside of putting them into letters and numbers. Once you have that done, what you want to do is press Command I or File Import, and you want to find the pictures that you want to use. I am going to be doing multiple pictures for you for multiple different scenarios. So let's just go with the easiest one. So we're going to find one picture that we want to use and press Open. This box is going to pop up. You want to do the print then cut and press Next. Now I want to do zero photo editing. I don't want to remove the background of anything, and you can see that checkered mark here. I want to keep my photo looking exactly the way that I want. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little dial thing and I'm going to make it all the way to the left at 0. Then what I'm going to do is press Next. And you're going to see that there is like some holes in here. I don't want to include the holes, so I'm going to just check that. So the only thing that technically what the Siser will want to cut out is just the rectangle box, the outside of my picture. Then I want to press Next again. This is what the final print and cut will look like. So then you just want to press Finish. The next thing you want to do is go down here into text box, and we want to insert a text. Now at this point, what you want to do is put in the text that you're wanting. To start off for this one, let's just keep it simple and do one letter or one number. For me, let's do the capital letter A. Okay, so once you have your letter or number put in place, at this point you can change your font that you want. Now, I would strongly suggest when you do this that you choose a thicker font. The thin fonts do not seem to show your pictures the way that you want them to. So the thicker font, the better. I'm going to use Impact, and then I'm going to press Apply. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is put my picture inside my letter. So I'm just going to resize my letter, and I want my letter to fill up my picture. Now, you don't want your letter to be hanging off the side of your picture, because then your letter is going to look funky after we get done placing the picture inside the letter. So you want to make sure that the letter that you're using or the number fits just inside your picture without any hangover. Okay, when you're done doing that, then what you can do is select both the letter or number that you're using and your photo, and we want to come up here into Paths and then press Intersect. So now we have a letter A that has all of my Cricuts, my craft room, all placed in there. At this point in time, you could resize this if you wanted to make this larger or smaller. Just to show you that it does work, if we go to Send Designed and then press Send, we now have a print and cut file of the letter A. Okay, let's take it one step further and do multiple letters or numbers inside one picture. And we're going to do the same steps that we did before, where you're going to Command I or File Import, and let's choose another picture and press Open. Doing the same thing we did before. I'm going to do the print then cut and press Next. I'm going to take my mask tolerance all the way down to 0 and press Next. Now, it doesn't look like there is any holes, but just in case, I don't want to include the holes, so I'm going to make sure that box is unchecked and then press Next again. Okay, this is what our final print and cut will look like with just a box. That's perfect. Press Finish. Now what we want to do is insert our text box. So going down here into the T, and we're going to insert a text box. I'm going to keep the same font that I used for the very first one because it's nice and thick and I like it. But I'm going to come over here and this time, let's do 2024. Okay, I don't like the way that this letter is being spaced right now. So what I'm going to do is come down here and I'm going to uncheck that auto weld text box and then press apply. I am going to slide over this text box that we have, make it larger so we can see what we're doing. And I want to rearrange these to fit better. I don't want this gigantic gap in my lettering or numbers. So I'm going to right click and press pass and then ungroup pass. If you click out of that, you'll be able to now click all the numbers or letters that you used individually. So I'm going to select the 2024 and just move them up. Okay, when I have the look that I want with the numbers or letters that you're using, you want to select everything that you have, so all the numbers or letters. We are going to go into pass and then weld. Then what you want to do is take your numbers or letters, if that's what you're using, and doing the same thing we did before, we want to resize this to fit into our picture that we want to use. Okay, I want to zoom in a little bit, so I'm going to take this magnifying glass. I'm just going to draw a box around my picture, pressing that arrow back. Okay, and if you're having a hard time envisioning what your letters will look like, because you can see that I can't see behind my photo, if you wanted to, you can come down here where it says default print. You can click on that and go to the cut tool. And now inside your letter, do you see how now it's like you can see through everything? If you needed that, you could do it like that. So then we can just rearrange this. You want to focus on everything that's inside your numbers. Okay, I'm going to hug my face. That's kind of the focal point of the photo. I'm going to make sure that both my eyes are inside my 0. You also want to make sure that nothing is getting cut off on your picture, just like before. When you have that done, you want to select both the numbers that you're using and also your picture, and you're going to go into pass and then intersect, just like we did before. So now you have your 2024 sliced into your picture. At this point in time, if you wanted to resize this, you totally could. And just to verify that it works, we're going to go into Send Design and press Send. And that is our cuttable picture. Okay, going back over. Okay, let's move this out of the way. The third scenario in this is if you wanted to do any word or letter and use multiple pictures. So what you want to do is the same thing we've done before with inserting our pictures. Command I, find a picture, open, print then cut, make your mask tolerance all the way down. Next, just want to make sure no holes are included and press next, and then press finish. Okay, so I'm going to use 3 pictures. So I'm going to insert 3 pictures. So I'm going to do the same thing I did before. So I have inserted 3 new pictures. I am just going to resize these so they fit into my working canvas. I'm just going to make this smaller. Okay, then what I want to do is insert my text box. So I'm going to come down here to text box and insert that text. And I'm going to keep it with the same font, but let's do hey. Okay, I do not want to weld these together, so I want to make sure that this right here is unchecked and press apply. Okay, I am going to use my magnifying glass and I'm going to zoom in on my pictures, pressing my arrow tool. Okay, now what I want to do is resize my letters to fit within my pictures. Okay, when I have it about the size that I like, what I am going to do is come over here because I want to see through my pictures like I did the last time. So I'm going to come down here to default print and just make this a cut tool. Then what I'm going to do is right click and press pass and ungroup pass. Clicking out of that, you'll be able to click one of your letters. Okay, this is really important. When you have your letters sized about what you would like, you do not at this point want to resize your letters individually. The best suggestion I have is resizing your pictures to fit your letters better. If you wanted to resize your letters to make them smaller or larger later, you can. That's definitely an option later. But just for right now, before we slice this, you don't want to rearrange your letter size because then it'll be kind of hard to figure out later. It'll just be extra steps for you later. Okay, so I am going to move my photos to fit where I want them to be. Okay, when I have my photo placed into my letter, It's going to be really, really hard to see, but you can change it back over to default print and then you can see it better. You want to do the same thing as we've done before, selecting just the letter and that picture. You want to come up here into pass and then intersect. Okay, then placing our next picture into our letter. When you have that placed, you want to select just that letter that you're working on and your picture, go into pass and then intersect. And then let's work on the very last picture. When you have it placed, you want to just select the letter you're working on and your picture, come up here into pass and then intersect. Okay, so at this point, you can see that I moved my letters around a little bit. If they are moved around, you just want to select all your letters and you just want to align these back to where they're supposed to be. Okay, then what you want to do is, now that you have your entire Word filled up with the pictures that you're using, you want to select everything and right click and press group. And then we can press this 100% mark to zoom out. And at this point, if you wanted to resize, you definitely resize at this point, and then just press send design and then press send. So now we have our third print then cut that has my pictures inside the print then cut, and then our cut lines to cut the file. And that's it. I hope you thought that this tutorial was as easy as I said it was going to be. I will see you next time.